and ready, set, a podcast.
Podcast with Gabriella, also known as Gabby Powell.
And also Jenriella, also known as Jennifer Ryan.
Yeah. We've amalgamated our names because we are one.
Because we want to save you guys time. We want to save you money. And we want to save you the horrible experience of not laughing. So why don't you go ahead and buckle in all of the complicated straps and seatbelts that will be involved in this roller coaster ride of a show, and tune in for what we like to call Insert Something Funny Here, the musical on ice in 3D, coming at you live from the top of your roof minds.
I feel like I should have chimed in there and said insert something funny here too, but I just was waiting.
Where are you, Jen Ryan?
I was like,
where are
I
you?
wonder what she's gonna say right now. And then I was like, oh, this is where I should have like chimed in to like reiterate like our podcast.
But I think that's why our podcast works, is because we are both so in love with each other's brains that we're actually like, sometimes when you're talking, I'm just like, I could add to this, but I really just want to see where this goes. And then I just sit there like a little kid with like some hot cocoa and some popcorn, like, yeah, entertain me. I'm like, oh, right. I'm a part of this too. Just kidding. I talk a lot. So I'm sure that's not, I think that I'm pausing for longer than I am, because as one who is named after the gift of gab, I am capable of the gift of gab for multiple minutes back to back in an unhuman quantity of words.
Sorry that my colon also is equipped with the gift of gab. I don't know why my stomach's rumbling.
You know, I actually invited your stomach to be a third member of this podcast for this episode, so let's talk about it. Talk about it.
We can talk about it.
Okay, just so you guys know that can't see, we're doing the most horrendous mouth shapes. That's why we sound that way. It's because we are looking at ourselves in the recording video and we are doing stupid faces for ourselves. And then, that's just a byproduct. Weird sounds are a byproduct of weird expressions on your face. Science.
So what if you have a naturally looking weird face?
Then you're going to naturally sound weird. Next question.
I want to talk about Christmas, ? Because I'm wearing a Christmas sweater and I love Christmas. I'm also wearing Christmas socks. I have a tree outside and I gave my dog a Christmas present today. So I'm in the mood for Christmas.
Wrong. I'm in the mood for Christmas because you just gave me a Christmas present. That trumps your list of 7 things. Because as everyone knows, Christmas is a little bit about giving and mostly about getting. It's a competition. Look around you. Who has a bigger pile of gifts? Immediately emasculate them. Now you're the top dog. And that's how you win at the game of Christmas.
You know, there are actually people who treat Christmas that way. It's a very stressful experience. I do come from a family that does that with the cousins and aunts, not like in the immediate family.
Right.
In the immediate family, we're very nice. But on the extended family side, like
there's
there
like
were...
some...
Yeah, it's like, what did you get me? And it's just like, oh, I just got you something at Macy's. Well, how much did you spend? I don't know, like $50. Well, I only spent $20 on your gift. And it's just kind of like, oh my God, who cares? It's Christmas.
Right.
I mean, also, let's be honest, Christmas is a religious holiday. So everyone's like, the reasons for the season is presents. Like, actually, it's a religious holiday.
Wrong. Not anymore. Things evolve and they change. And now it's about money and status. It used to be about God and angels. And now it's about Snoopy wearing a Santa hat.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to point out another pivotal scientific revelation I've just uncovered in my brain spout. And it's called Christmas, not Chris less, like the Spanish mas.
More Chris.
More. It's
More
never
Chris.
enough. More Christ.
More Crisco.
Just kidding. This episode's actually going to be about... Oh my God. This episode's going to be about editing, and we haven't said a dang darn thing about editing stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, how can I flip this? Think, Gabby, think. Christmas. More episodes. The guy who edits our episodes. Perfect segue. I know what you're thinking, Jen Ryan, by your blank stare. You're thinking You're thinking, wow, she's done it again.
I'm thinking we may need alcohol.
So let's dive right back into it.
So basically, we interviewed our podcast editor for this episode, and we didn't talk a lick about editing or anything software because he's from Morocco, and I thought that was a lot more interesting.
Right.
He's such a nice person, and I love learning about other countries.
That's very fair.
Because I told him that I was this close to going to Casablanca in Morocco, but couldn't. And he was like, I wouldn't recommend going to, well, I'm not going to tell you the interview, you have to stay and listen. But anyway, we got talking about Morocco because I think learning about other cultures is so cool.
It
Because
is.
I think American culture is so blah.
Really? I don't.
It's just TikTok.
But I feel like there are some cool little nuggets left to explore. Specifically, I'm going to be obsessed with Chicago as soon as improv decides to be a thing again, because I'd love to go travel and nerd out on some improv continued education. But other than
In
that,
Chicago?
yeah, in Chicago, I feel like it's going to be the best because that's where improv was just a little baby and it was born there.
Oh my gosh, Chicago's an amazing city, but the only problem with it is that 8 months out of the year has horrible winters.
I was going to say, I hear that the winters would murder me if I even pictured Chicago for too long. So that's fair. But I do love, I mean, my family is such a melting pot of all of the different locations and skin tones. So I really do enjoy traveling and enjoying different cultures because that's actually a part of my culture that I was raised doing because I have family spread out in different parts of America, different parts of the world, and I was lucky enough as a kid that my parents thought that, you know, meeting and actually like getting to know your extended family was very important. So on both sides of my family, both my parents were mixed,
Yeah.
BT dubs, and both of them thought it was very important to make sure that we had connections with all of our cousins. So there were a lot of family reunions. I got to dip my toe in visiting some cool far off places. And, you know, now that's just my general expectation for life. Now all I got to do is be able to afford 24/7 travel and live that dream. But until then, what will suffice is a sweet, nice interview with oh my God, he's so cute, with a cute man named Souffian. I'm butchering it. I'm sorry. We'll hear him say it. It'll be better.
Souffian.
Wow. Boy, was I close. Anyway, he has the best hair. So for those of you listening on Spotify and such, just picture this really nice dark-haired Moroccan guy.
So without further ado, tune in to the audio editor who has made the episodes that were complete train wrecks from before into listenable things on the internet.
Right.
All right.
Okay, awesome. So I have an incredible audio editor named Souffian here with me today on the podcast. And he is actually the genius who edits all of our crazy, wacky episodes. So Souffian, welcome.
Hi, Jen. Hi, everyone. Pleasure to be here with you guys.
Now, Souffian is a very interesting person because you are from Morocco.
Yes, that's true.
And
It's-
just so you know, when you live in America, being from Morocco means you're very cool.
I hope so. Well, actually, the place that I came from is very hot. I came from Sahara, so it's pretty hot there. Oh, by the way, I'm not living in Morocco now. I'm actually in Europe, so I'm in Poland.
Well, then we need to end this interview right now because
Oh.
I was banking on Morocco.
No worries. You can ask about Morocco. I just moved here, so it's totally fine.
Wow. So why did you move to Poland?
Actually, I came here to finish my studies. So I'm working on audio, but I also study computer science. And actually, yesterday I just did my thesis. I finished my master's degree in computer science.
Wow. So you're like way smarter than me.
No. It's just random stuff.
That's cool. So where in Poland are you?
Oh, actually, I'm in this small city next to the capital, Warsaw. It's called Łódź. It's Łódź, and it's 1 hour and 30 minutes from the capital. It's very cold industrial city. but I like it. Cool.
Yeah. So, do you speak Polish?
No, actually, I tried. I tried really hard, but it's very, very difficult language. I just can say good morning and can you please give me a bagel? That's all.
I mean, that's really all you need to know.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Most of people here talk English my age, so there is no issue at all.
Oh, okay. Wow. So, how did you choose Poland? Poland just seems like so different from Morocco, but maybe that's why you wanted to go
Yeah,
there.
that's true. But actually, it was a last time decision. So actually, I got a scholarship to study in China, in Beijing. Yeah, Beijing Institute of Technology. But they sent me the confirmation email in Chinese, and I didn't. I just ignore it. And yeah, I they were like, oh, you didn't see the confirmation, so we're just gonna move on. And then I had to decide what to do next. And yeah,
That's hilarious. So, they sent you the confirmation letter in Chinese and you basically just put it in the trash. You're like, I don't understand that.
I I don't think I've never worked on audio that has my voice in it. Interesting.
Yeah, like that's kind of a funny thing because you have like ideas about yourself. You're like, this is what I sound like, this is what I look like, and you have your own idea about how you are and how you look or
Yeah,
sound to the world. But
that's
then
so.
when you see yourself on video or you see a photograph of yourself or you hear yourself on audio, you're like, I am a complete clown. Because I thought I was a normal person. And then I started seeing myself on video and I'm like, I look like a giant baby.
No, no, that's not true. But yeah, I totally get you. Like when you record yourself or you see a voice memo of you, it's like, what the hell is that my voice? Is it really me?
That's why I decided to do comedy is because it's so hard for me to be like look like a normal polished person. Like, news anchors and actors and singers and people who are trained to be on camera. I mean, number one, they are definitely trained to do so, but they always look like very normal, like people who, put one pant leg on at a time. And when I see myself, I'm like, yeah, I need to do comedy because I'm just not good at being like, you know, just like a polished person. I'd rather be like kind of goofy and gangly.
Yeah, that's true. It's actually remind me when I'm working on your audio, guys. Like I'm always working on it and like laughing in the background. It's like, oh, this is crazy.
That's good because that means our humor translates across cultures
Yeah,
because
yeah, exactly.
every country has like their own idea of what's funny. And what may be funny in America may not be funny in Japan, for example, or other countries. So if you think our humor is funny, that means we are actual amazing people.
Yes, you are.
You're like, yes, absolutely. I have to say yes to that.
But yeah, as my English is, as you can see, it's not my first language, so I found it easy working on your podcast, and I can get most of the jokes. So you are doing great job.
That's amazing. That makes me really happy. And really, the editing instructions come from Gabby. So if you hate those or they make you mad, it's her, not me. Just
But actually, like I have some clients that they don't even give me instructions, and they just give me the file and like do what you have to do with it. And yeah, I have to improvise at that moment. Like, what should I cut? What should I? And it's crazy. And Gabby is doing a really, really great job with the instructions. Like, it's precise. I love that.
that's why I hired her. I mean, I pay her nothing, but I hired her because she is so good at really little details, and I'm horrible at little details.
Oh,
I'm like a big overarching kind of person,
oh,
and everything important would slip through the cracks if I didn't have somebody like her working with me.
oh yeah, that's true. And yeah, it's the details that she gives is so accurate. I think I've never got a client that gives such. It's like at the minute 12.05 you will find this and you can delete this and you can. It's amazing.
I know. But the bad side about Gabby is she's so good about really specific details. But if you make her mad, she will completely burn down your city block. It's like she's really good, but then she is a terror as a person.
Oh my God. I wish I never made her mad. So
Oh my God. I'm just kidding. She's actually the
scared
nicest
now
person in the
to
world.
do any mistake with the editing from now on.
Yeah, yeah. Don't make her mad, whatever you
Yeah.
do.
Oh my.
Lie if you must. Oh my gosh. So I have to ask what Morocco is like because my boyfriend and I were in Spain last year and we tried to go to Casablanca for a weekend, but then the flights ended up not working. We couldn't get a train because it was a holiday weekend. So it just did not work out. And we really wanted to visit Morocco, but didn't have a chance then. So I want to ask what Morocco is like.
Yeah, sure thing. First of all, I don't recommend Casablanca as the first city to visit in Morocco. So basically, you can choose something in the north. Casablanca is a very random city. Actually, I lived there for a year before coming to Poland. So it's a very messy city, but
Oh.
there is places that's worth watching, like visiting there. Like there is the big mosque of Hassan II. There is the old city, and yeah. What's interesting about the Morocco, especially when I'm here experiencing like having the European experience, is the weather. Like I'm always complaining, it's super cold in here. While there, I think it's sunny most of the year. Like the beaches are amazing. You can go find beaches everywhere, have very good time. Yeah, and even the community people are very friendly, and yeah, you can get everything. Oh, also, this is the most important thing. It's super cheap. So it's
Ooh.
just, yeah, everything is cheap. You can get great meals, and the food there is amazing as well. It's the second thing I miss. And
Mm.
yeah, so weather, food, and it's cheap. People.
Wow. Sounds like paradise.
Kind of.
What are people like there? Are people generally friendly or they kind of keep themselves?
Well, it depends. Like mostly are friendly, but I don't think most of the people talk in English. So probably you will have like many trouble communication. But nowadays, like most of the people are starting to learn English and giving more for tourism. So it's totally fine.
I would imagine that Polish food is not nearly as good as Moroccan food because Moroccan food is probably pretty Mediterranean. And then Polish food is like, I'm guessing potatoes and like sausage.
Yeah, and pierogi. That's but actually they have some interesting meals. Yeah, they have some very interesting meals. Like in Christmas, I spent the Christmas with a Polish family, my friend's Polish family, and they made the best fish I've ever tasted. It was amazing. Like her grandma made those fish. Yeah, so Polish
Wow.
food is different than Moroccan, but it's on point as well.
Now, how long do you think you're going to be in Poland for?
Well, actually, that's an interesting question because I just finished my studies, and yeah, I will see if I'm gonna do PhD here or find something else to do next. But we will see. I didn't decide yet.
Yeah, because you just finished.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Wow,
like,
that is so awesome.
thank you. But
Yeah.
talking about food in Morocco, oh, it's like I don't think there is a number like how many dishes. Like a lot of great dishes. I miss that.
Do you have hummus there?
Uh, kind of, yeah. Like in the north parts, there is some parts that have hummus, but not all Morocco. Like you have to understand, like Morocco, it's not like we have different ethnic groups there, and every group, every place that have like different cultures, different food, and different uh, clothing, and everything.
Wow. That's so cool. In America, everything's all mixed together and people are just really wacky.
It's cool. I would like to visit America once. It's just the experience. Like I think people are great there as well, and they are super friendly and social.
Yes, and I would say generally most people in America are very interested in other cultures. I mean, maybe that's not all the way true, but I love meeting people from other countries because America is such like a mixing pot of so many different kind of cultures that kind of, just blend together. So it's like when you go to another country, it's like a very concentrated form of a culture that I think Americans is very interesting.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like actually in Morocco, we don't have this. We don't mixed a lot with foreigners. Like there is the what is it called? The touristic parts, but there is some parts that's never visited by the foreigners or like visitors. So it's always like there is this close community, but they're always welcoming people to come and experience. So yeah, I recommend if someone will go into Morocco to just go to those places that are not touristic. That's the real Moroccan experience.
That's what I would want. Well, I guess that is about the end of our interview time. We try to keep our interviews around 15 minutes because we assume nobody's listening to our podcast. Is there anything else you would love to say about being our podcast editor? Because we love you.
I love you too. I love working with you guys. And it's always a pleasure working on your files. It's very fun. And yeah, it's great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being interviewed. We love you and congratulations on finishing your master's. You are an amazing warrior Moroccan who now lives in Polish Man.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. And thank you for the interview.
All right. Bye, Souffian.
Bye.
Oh, he's such a dream. Say his name again.
Souffian.
Oh, so good. Kind of reminds me of like Steve
Souffle.
and Novian. Oh, okay. And the word souffle mixed together. All delicious words. Anywho, I know you're going to see this episode. Thank you so much for all the hard work that you did on our previous episodes. And we are attempting to follow in your footsteps and do a little edity stuff. So just want you to know that you forever have a trophy in our minds as the dude who made our episodes go from unedited question marks to things that we felt comfortable enough to put our name on and like publish out into the whole world.
Put our names on, like our famous names.
Yeah, we heated up a stoke and we like branded our names right into the side of those episodes. And then we smack the episodes in the back of the butt and watch them right out into pasture.
We gave him like piles of trash and he put it together.
Yeah, well, it was trash and then instructions.
Oh, yeah.
OCD instructions.
Yeah.
In millisecond 2.
One of us has OCD and one of us has like whatever the opposite of OCD would be.
Oh my God, that was my second favorite part is when you were describing like us and our style and I was like, that's how it always works. I'm the jam, you're the peanut butter. You got these big wild ideas. And then I'm like, and then this is how we OCD it to shreds and obsessive compulsive over it. And don't forget about the thises and the that's. And I just have crazy eyes towards the camera right now.
I know, that's actually not true, but I would say that I'm not as good as like finite detail stuff as much as I am pushing stuff forward.
I always try to play devil's advocate of like bringing some opposing energy from whatever my other teammates bring to the table. So since you decided to bring in perfect, adorable, goofy tits energy, I decided to bring in that giggle butts energy.
Those are our tribal names that we named ourselves.
And it's okay, I can say that because I'm
Goofy boobs and giggle butts. Is it butts plural or?
Oh yeah, multiple butts. You get to be multiple boobs, so I get to be multiple butts.
I mean, that makes sense because a butt is 2 cheeks. So why is it butts?
Nobody ever calls it butts, but they always say boobs. And I just want consistency in the English language.
You're never going to get that. This is the worst
language.
language.
So gonna get that.
Have you seen that I Love Lucy episode where she makes fun of Spanish and then Ricky basically gives her an example of how English pronunciation is so messed up?
Garbage.
Yeah, by saying the word tough, O-U-G-H on the end of tough, that's pronounced one way. And then there is like through,
laugh or
T-H-R-O-U-G-H. Those words are spelled the same, but then they are pronounced different. And then the word bow, like B-O-U-G-H.
Don't even.
I mean, I just gave you some massive like linguistic science.
I know. This was our massive linguistics course. That's just who I really am. Professors. You guys know us. I love saying that.
You guys know us. Remember me? We've been together 13 episodes.
Yeah, and we're married. Remember when Jen Ryan proposed to you guys? And it's not like you emailed us no.
So technically it stands.
So if you look down at your ring finger and you notice that there's a piece of string on it because we were too broke to get all y'all diamonds, that's why.
If you see somebody moving in like through the back door, just know that it's us and don't worry.
Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Because you're married now, girl.
We're married, you and I.
Whether you like it or not. Wait, don't leave. It's not a kidnapping. It's just a fun joke. Because it's a comedy podcast.
That was actually really good. I'm submitting that to America's Next Top Model. Well, that was a good podcast. We actually did it on time.
Yeah. I wonder how that's going to sound. Well, I gotta say.
It looked good.
Exactly. And it's all about our secret visuals that nobody can see yet. But you know what? I know we've mentioned it a couple times or two, but we do plan to get these bad boys up in a visual scope for your eyeball pleasure so that you can not just listen to our antics, but watch the complex physical hierarchies and dynamics between our movements, our eye contact, my silent, painful looking laughters as Jen Ryan does.
As I scratch my chin and play with my hair.
Yes. But for now, everyone have a safe week. Is it going to be Christmas yet? No, it's not. But I know y'all are going out to those holiday parties for those of you who are fortunate enough to be able to do so.
Don't get COVID. That's our 2020 message.
Right. That's our little lick of advice as we wrap this whole year up.
Don't get it.
Don't get COVID.
If you need to wrap your face in saran wrap and then puncture 2 holes for your nostrils, do it.
I feel like that would combat the efficientness of it. You heard it here first. Dr. Steve Fauci's daughter, Jen Fauci.
I'm Stephanie Fauci and I like suffocating people. Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
We were doing so good. I think we did enough of a wrap up to just say some simple goodbyes at this point.
Okay, bye.
Not that simple. Draw it out. Make your words long.
It's been a long, long year and a long, long episode. So now what we're going to do is we're going to Scooby-Doo off stage right.
Bye.